because they were training entrepreneurs, I just said, well, you have to be entrepreneurial yourself. I'm Garry Whitby and I'm an international development consultant. I was brought up in South London. In those days, they test you at the age of 11 to see how clever you were. I didn't make the mark. They told me I couldn't go to grammar school. I managed to get 9 O-levels, 8 were grade A, which allowed me to go to grammar school. So they got that one wrong. And whilst I was there and the teacher says that I wasn't clever enough to go to Bristol University, that they were wrong about that one as well. And I became a chartered engineer. I went out to Malawi and I worked in a tobacco factory, ply mill and sawmill, where I got great interest in the fact that I just couldn't pop down the road to the shop to get certain parts. I had to make do with what was there. I was asked to help transform the Malawi Entrepreneurs Development Institute. So it was decided that we teach them to become entrepreneurs. During my time there, it was all male, and we set up what we called the WED program. It wasn't to help women get married, but it was the Women's Entrepreneurship Development Program. Their ideas were that they should be doing knitting and sewing. So I said, well, they can be carpenters, they can be welders. At the time, women weren't allowed to wear trousers in Malawi, so we had to get special dispensation for them. But quite a few women graduated and set up their own businesses, small businesses. I set up my own company, BPI Consultants, and I was working on donor-funded projects. And challenge funds were set up as a challenge to the private sector to come up with businesses which were commercially viable, but also had a socio-economic benefit. What we would do is go to a big corporation and say, do you have projects which are on the table, but you find them too risky or too expensive, but they have a socio-economic benefit? We would then say, okay, if we work with you and invest with you, that will reduce the cost and also reduce the risk. So the first challenge fund was the Financial Deepening Challenge Fund, and we were working with banks setting up systems in spaza shops so that minors who were working away from home could send money back to their wives using the spaza shop. And then we were asked to do the Business Linkages Challenge Fund, and we were working with organisations like Mondi and to help them clear forest waste and to turn that into charcoal. So we had a challenge fund to help Tandy Fruit do winemaking, and it won an international prize for small-scale Chardonnay production. And I've recently returned from Nepal, where I set up financial access for the poor. A lot of people in Nepal are working outside of the country and they send money back. The parents would have to walk 2 or 3 days across the mountains to get to a place where they could get their 3,000 rupees and probably spend 500 rupees doing that journey. So we set up a system with the banks that they could actually get access to finance using cell phone technology. Surprisingly, the cell phone network is very strong in the mountains in Nepal. Challenge funds, I'm very, very happy to say, are now just a common tool in the development toolbox. At the age of 11, I got put in a box and I managed to fight my way out of that box by never giving up. Entrepreneurs would be opportunists. I did go to grammar school. I did become a chartered engineer. Just don't give up, guys. Just carry on.